Well, the Da Vinci Code is a work of fiction. It's not even historical fiction. It's unhistorical fiction, and there are many errors in it. And the real history of Christianity and the real Opus Dei are quite different from that. The main problem with the Da Vinci Code is the way that it distorts the life of Christ and presents Christianity as some kind of a hoax. Christianity is presented as a 2,000-year-old fraud instead of the 2,000-year-old truth that it is. For instance, one of the examples in the Da Vinci Code is where Brown suggests that Constantine invented the idea of the divinity of Christ only in the 4th century, where you'll find no evidence of that, and no historian would tell you anything of that kind. As for Opus Dei, the errors are glaring. We don't have any monks in Opus Dei. We're a lay organization. We don't have bloody mortification like they show with the monk. That's a gross distortion of what goes on. What Opus Dei really does is to help people, ordinary people, love God and serve God in their ordinary life. It's part of the Catholic Church, and it helps people bring the love of God to their friends and other people. Well, obviously, Opus Dei members would be far happier if Opus Dei was never mentioned in the Da Vinci Code, especially in such an unpleasant, negative way. And that goes for its depiction of the church as well. No one's happy with that. But on the positive side, this has really given us an opportunity to explain what Opus Dei is and to give more of a history of the church as well. So there is a real positive side to this. One of the things that people have wondered about is if we would come out with some kind of declaration of war against Sony. And no, that has not been our reaction at all. I mean, we have no intention of, staging any boycotts or planning any protests or anything like that. Our declaration is really going to be one of peace, not war. Well, actually, some of this publicity has been positive for us. In a strange way, we do expect that God will bring some good out of a bad situation, and that's what we find ourselves with. For example, our website has had over 3 million unique visitors this year, and 1 million of them have been in the U.S. alone. And some of these people have, in fact, become involved in Opus Dei through this publicity. Yes, in fact, Opus Dei did contact Sony through a letter, and in it we tried to convey our dismay at the way the Catholic faith and Opus Dei was portrayed in it. We wanted to show them the real Opus Dei and describe to them the fact that the real Opus Dei has people with real families and that this portrayal of them would be harmful. The other thing we tried to do was to specifically ask for a meeting with them to convey these concerns and explain to them how they could make it more palatable to Christians, how they could make the movie, and also to leave our name out of it, and at the very least to make a disclaimer at the beginning of the film. Sony did respond to us, but only in a very vague and non-committal way, very polite response through a letter. They did not give us the meeting that we requested. They didn't give us any information about how we would be portrayed in the movie, after all. And it was only through the media that we learned that they were planning to go ahead with the same inaccuracies that were in the book. Sony still maintains that it isn't harmful to Catholics, that this is just a book of fiction, but we still maintain that fiction hurts people. And it would be nice if they would show us the same regard, the same sensitivity that they would show any other ethnic or religious group.